Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Yet another oil discovery offshore Guyana. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Thursday, March 30. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. Some more good news for Guyana in the oil exploration efforts taking place offshore. The ExxonMobil Corporation on Thursday announced the discovery of more oil in the Starbuck block. The company says the drilling targeted similar aged reservoirs as those encountered in previous discoveries. ExxonMobil affiliate Esso Exploration and Production Guyana Limited began drilling off this latest well last month and encountered 82 feet of high-quality oil-bearing sandstone reservoirs. That well is located in the southern portion of the Starbuck block, approximately 5 miles to the southeast of the Liza 1 well, where the first discovery was made. The announcement and that discovery was made in 2015. Now, the announcement of the discovery came on the heels of the government announcing that it will invest $500 million to build an onshore oil and gas facility that will cater for the expansion of exploration and production of oil. Construction on the onshore facility on Crab Island, located in the Berbice River, will begin during the course of this year. It is expected to create about 600 jobs. Meantime, one of the world's leading oil and gas companies says it will invest $5 billion in Trinidad and Tobago over the next 5 years. BP has also committed to further exploration and production. Those commitments were given when Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley held high-level talks with senior executives of the company in Houston, Texas on Wednesday. A government statement said the meeting brought discussions and negotiations that have been ongoing for months closer to finalization. The two sides also discussed the future of the hydrocarbon industry in the Twin Island Republic and the continuation of the relationship between Trinidad and Tobago and BP. And announcements about the successful execution of another agreement are expected in the coming weeks. The meeting with BP was the first in a series of meetings Prime Minister Rowley and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Stuart Young, are having with leaders in the energy sector. They also held talks with senior executives from Shell on Thursday. World Bank Country Director for the Caribbean, Tahseen Saeed, says despite the vulnerabilities and diversities of the Caribbean region, there is great potential for economic growth. Saeed made the comments as she addressed a conference organized by the World Bank and the Miami Herald in Miami. The conference also served as an occasion for the bank to launch 2 new products looking at economic growth and fiscal policies in the region.
On to the natural attributes, the small economies have a tremendous potential to develop, to innovate, and to remain competitive. Some of the relatively larger countries in the group of small states have also been able to drive economic growth through trade, through diversification, and of course, promoting competitiveness.
Saeed said political commitment is important in driving change and policy and ensuring institutional continuity. She encouraged regional leaders to focus on key priorities that can help boost growth while building on lessons from other small economies.
With our partners in the world of international development and assistance, we are very proud that we are with them, and many of whom are present today in this room. We are committed from the World Bank Group side to bring to the table the best that we can offer in leveraging public and private resources, and more importantly, expertise garnered not just from the North American or the South American region, but also globally.
Speaking on tourism, Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said Cuba's entry to the market exposed a weakness in the integration process, that of inadequate intra-regional travel.
I think I share this view of my brother here. I think what the Cuban expansion of tourism activity in Cuba has exposed is the weakness of our integration efforts in the region as a whole. The problem of the lack of a viable transport network. Our view is that with a better connected system of transport, we will see a lot more travelers going to different countries. In other words, we could piggyback on Cuba's success if there is that linkage of transportation, Cuba to different islands.
Mitchell says through proper planning, Caribbean countries now have an opportunity to work with Cuba to further strengthen the region's tourism product. He says the Caribbean can also benefit from Cuba's long-standing investment in tourism and hospitality training.
Cuba, while it would lack that opportunity, had been developing tourism schools far more than we were doing, that were benefiting from the tourism product and depended on it. So I think, again, working with Cuba, we can maximize the opportunities and development of the tourism product.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has proposed a meeting with the island's trade unions to discuss public sector wages. The government and the unions have been at odds over salary negotiations for the 2015-2018 period. The Skerrit administration proposed a wage freeze, but the unions flatly rejected it. A meeting is scheduled for April 24. Skerrit says he is all for the protection of workers' rights, but other matters also have to be taken into consideration.
Every union must seek to get the best for their workers that it possibly can. So I am not at odds with that. Because I wasn't always a prime minister. I was a teacher. And I understand the need from time to time for us to demand improvement in our working conditions. We cannot pay more than we're earning. An employer who is making $5,000 a week cannot go and commit $6,000 a week. And that's the reality of it. That is business management or business administration 101. You can't pay more or spend more than you're making. So let us understand from the outset that when all of this talk is over, the government can only commit to what it realistically can commit to.
Meanwhile, Barbados' private sector says it can no longer afford to maintain jobs just for the sake of being patriotic. President of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Eddie Abed, says that at the cost of low profit and reduced capital investment, the private sector has maintained employment of well over 100,000 people. But speaking at a recent luncheon of the Chamber, he said the current economic climate has made the future of the sector uncertain. Abed did not explicitly state that layoffs were coming, but insisted that it could not be business as usual. He added that Barbadians needed to get rid of the mentality that they are entitled. The businessman says he believes the biggest hurdles would be eliminating poor customer service and low productivity in both the public and private sectors. Staying in Bridgetown, Barbadians are being warned to brace for an increase in insurance premiums. And President General of General Insurance Association of Barbados, Davis Brown, says that's because of the increase in claims being made against insurance companies following a spike in road fatalities. He said everyone will have to help foot the bill for the millions of dollars in death claims that will have to be paid out.
That will suffer the increase. The frequency and severity meaning the nature of the accidents and injuries will have some impact on the industry. I don't have numbers. It's still very early stage to know that. Those claims will not be quantified at this stage, but it is anticipated that there could be a significant increase in the amount of claims that insurance companies have to pay. And insurance is a pooling arrangement whereby policyholders contribute to that pool out of which losses are paid. So any significant impact on that will have implications for those policyholders who are part of the pool.
The country has recorded 14 road fatalities for the year so far, compared to a total of 10 last year, 22 in 2015 and 14 in 2014. And ahead in Caribbean Newsline, rising obesity among Jamaicans worrying health officials. That story and more when we return. Do stay with us.
One aim of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, is for CARICOM nationals to be able to move in the region, to seek work, to visit, to establish a business, or to provide services. CARICOM also provides a complaints procedure which allows you to report any instances where you have experienced difficulty in accessing your rights, either on arrival or once in the country. Simply complete the form provided online and at a number of locations. Submit it to the CSME focal point in your home country, the country where you had an issue, or via the web. The complaints procedure works to safeguard access to CSME for all CARICOM nationals. For more information, visit csmeonline.org or call your local CSME authority. The CARICOM Single Market and Economy. Make it work for you.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today. More and more Jamaicans are becoming obese, and it's worrying health authorities. Chairman of the Food Industry Task Force, Professor Fitzroy Henry, says obesity rates among adults have increased by 1% each year since 2002, and the rate now stands at 60%. And Henry says being overweight is the main underlying cause of death in Jamaica due to fat consumption and daily intake of large quantities of sugar. What's particularly worrying authorities is the amount of sugar Jamaican teens are consuming. We get more in this report from TVJ's Shamela Mitchell.
An obesity tsunami. That's what the chair of the National Food Industry Task Force, Professor Fitzroy Henry, says Jamaica is facing. And Professor Henry says Jamaican teens are leading the way.
Globally, boys and girls in Jamaica, say between the ages of 13 to 15, actually are among the top leaders in the world in terms of soda consumption, right? Barbados follows in the Caribbean, then Dominica, Trinidad, and others.
In that study, those children have one or more sodas per day.
Each soda has about 30-35 grams of sugar in it, and the limit really should be for 25 grams for the entire day. And in one soda, they are actually consuming more than the requirement for the whole day. So you see what the challenge is.
A typical can of fizzy drink contains about 9 teaspoons of sugar. An adult of normal weight needs no more than about 25 grams. That's around 6 teaspoons every day. And bear in mind, fizzy drinks are not by any means the only source of sugar some teens consume every day. And the consequences, children are getting fatter.
We have about 27% of girls and 27% of boys and 33% of girls that are actually either overweight or obese, which is quite a lot. It's almost 1/3 of our population that's over the limit.
For Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton, excess sugar consumption means more money, millions to treat non-communicable diseases in the country.
In Trinidad and Tobago, a situation that could have resulted in loss of life at the nation's public health institutions may have been deliberate. Health officials have not ruled out the possibility of sabotage after 3 CT scanners malfunctioned simultaneously. We stay in Trinidad and Tobago. The Ministry of Health has placed restrictions of travelers coming from 6 countries in the wake of outbreaks of yellow fever. Health Minister Terence Dialsing said people arriving from Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia and Suriname would be required to show documentation in their respective countries proving that they have been vaccinated against yellow fever before they are allowed to travel to the Twin Island Republic. He said that has become necessary to prevent an outbreak of the virus in Trinidad and Tobago. Minister Dialsing said while most citizens are vaccinated against yellow fever from a very young age, there are still thousands of people who are yet to be immunized. And ahead in Newsline Sport, a second straight loss for West Indies in their T20 series against Pakistan. Do stay with us. Sport is next.
Players from Australia's T20 international squad speak about the Sri Lanka superstar Lasith Malinga and how they plan to combat him.
He's one of the best that's ever played T20 cricket. Every game is just a match winner. I like his haircut.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with diabetes? If so, it is important that you know about Glucerna. Glucerna is a nutritional supplement for people with diabetes and contains Carb Steady, which helps minimize blood sugar spikes. Manage your diabetes with Glucerna. Glucerna, nutrition for people with diabetes, designed for you.
With the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, opportunities to relocate for work as a CARICOM skilled national have been expanded to include 10 categories of persons. 2 of those categories are artisans and household domestics holding a Caribbean Vocational Qualification or CVQ. A CVQ is a certificate you can apply for based on how well you do your job. If you are certified as a household domestic, including housekeepers and home health workers, or an artisan, including persons in the building trade, craft persons and machine operators, you could be eligible to move for work. CVQ standards have been developed with regional employers, so your skills will be recognized wherever you go. Contact your national training agency to find out about CVQs for artisans or household domestics, or visit csmeonline.org for more information. The CARICOM Single Market and Economy. Make it work for you.
And cricket tops our Thursday sports package. A 4-wicket haul from debutant leg spinner Shadab Khan helped Pakistan defend their small first innings total to beat West Indies by 3 runs in the second T20 international. Set in to bat in Port of Spain, Pakistan was manhandled by mystery spinner Sunil Narayan, captain Carlos Brathwaite and Samuel Badri. Both Narayan and Brathwaite picked up 3 wickets each, while Badri earned figures of 2 for 14 to rout the visitors for 132. Shoaib Malik could only muster 28 as the top score. Here are the highlights.
Made tougher by West Indies bowling initially. Kamran Akmal, they are missing the plot. Babar Azam started off with that wonderful cover drive. Muhammad Shahzad, they're cutting the ball. It was a good, decent partnership. Quite a few dot deliveries ball, and once he got the length, he punished the loose stuff. Babar Azam played couple of lovely shots. That cut shot was pretty special from him. Then a slash and beautifully held by the keeper. That ball was going at some knots. Ahmed Shahzad there, a soft dismissal. Got out immediately when Pakistan had lost Babar Azam, and then a slot from Fakhar Zaman on debut. Not a great shot. Shoaib Malik there putting that one over the ropes. And a bad misfield earning him a 4. West Indies ground fielding was lackluster. Sarfraz came in, played a couple of good shots, but nobody really got going. It was a grinder's pitch where you have to really grind and make sure that you were out there till the end. This was smashed, but straight to the man at mid-wicket. Pollard there picking up a good catch, and then a fantastic piece of fielding from West Indies in that period. They picked up wickets and put pressure on Pakistan. Sohail Tanveer was leg before wicket. Narayan there getting it through at pace. Ahmad Wasim with a straight drive. And then have a look at this catch from the skipper there, diving full length and judging it to perfection at mid-off. High full toss over the waistline, not given a no ball. Babar came in and played a great hand. A 6 that was tipped over the rope, then a straight 4. And then another mighty hit straight back over the bowler's head. Jason Holder there came into picture, picked up that catch. The last man dismissed, the non-striker, Shadab Khan.
And in reply, the West Indies were on a clear path to victory following a superb batting display by Narayan, Marlon Samuels and Jason Holder. But Shadab's 4 for 14 left the Caribbean men a hapless bunch as victory was snatched away from them in the final over.
She's very, very confident. But then came this error. Near escape there. Then the collision. They weren't too sure, was he in his ground, was he not? Umpire Joel Wilson not taking any chances, and then as you ran into Shadab Khan, the bails dislodged just before that left foot came down and he was run out. Another run out opportunity, another collision. This time, Ahmed Shahzad looked to be seriously injured. Stretchered off. Thankfully, he returned to the field. But then Chadwick Walton looking to go over the top effectively a couple of times in his favorite area. Marlon Samuels looked as if he was in the mood to dominate in the way that only he can. Power and style. Massive hit back past the bowler. This was even more impressive. Into the wind for another 6. Yeah! But then Shadab Khan, with that guile, with that confidence. Samuels still picking up the boundaries, keeping the West Indies fans happy. Then Hassan Ali with the wicket of Lendl Simmons. Pace and in swing. Samuel still stroking, heading into the 40s. This was even better in the same over. He looked to be carrying the West Indies home, but Pollard completely bewildered. And betwixt and between, likewise, Rodman Powell, it hasn't been a great debut for him at senior international level. And the last ball of his spell, the critical wicket, Marlon Samuels taken outside edge. But Carlos Brathwaite knows how to find the boundary, as does Jason Holder. Good technique and placement, keeping their team alive. Big hit over the top, and then the extra pace of Wahab Riaz removing the West Indies captain. But Holder still keeping the West Indies in with a chance. And then Sunil Narayan in the final over. Boundaries of consecutive balls. It looked to be the West Indies match here. 6 needed off 4 balls and then run out Narayan, meaning 5 were needed. And then a beautiful final delivery. And Hassan Ali, after being a very worried man, able to seal the victory for Pakistan. Celebration again.
Well, after the match, West Indies captain Carlos Brathwaite said despite the loss, the team was showing signs of improvement.
Tell the guys how to bat. We have a team plan. Go out there, express yourself. It's up to the guys to mold their individual plans to what the team would want at any given time. I think the double wicket strike by Shadab kind of changed the game a bit. We lost a bit of momentum. Up until then, I think we had it up above them. But yeah, we came down close again. Again, we have improvements. We are showing progression, but we need to bring it over the line. At the end of the day, improvement is so much when you're losing. We need to win. And today, I think we had the perfect opportunity to win, and we didn't do that.
The captain also praised the players' performance in the first innings.
Bowling and in the field, and I think we let it slip in the last 5 or so overs, and it were costly runs in the end. We dropped a catch that went for 6. We misfield a few balls. We came off the field at least -10, -15, and in the end, we did that at the back end of the game with the bat.
The West Indies will be hoping to level the series in the 2 remaining matches this weekend at the Queen's Park Oval. West Indies pace legend Michael Holden has been named as the new president of the Derbyshire, the county club he represented with distinction during his illustrious playing days. The 63-year-old was formally appointed at Wednesday night's annual general meeting of the club and joins incoming chairman Ian Morgan, who replaces the hugely successful Chris Grant. Jamaican Holden said he feels honoured being asked to serve as president of the club. Holden spent 6 seasons at the East Midlands County during the 1980s, taking 224 wickets at an average of 24.57. He recorded 13 5-wicket hauls with a best of 7 for 97 against Worcester. He remains one of the icons of West Indies cricket and one of the finest fast bowlers Test cricket has seen, having picked up 249 wickets from 60 tests at an average of 23.68. And that's the sport.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Welcome to SwiftPack, your online shopping and shipping solution. Receive the best rates, expert cargo management, and exceptional customer service. SwiftPack provides secure handling of your smallest packages to your largest cargo with speed and reliability. We invite you to use our U.S. mailbox service, online shopping, ship air and ocean cargo from the supplier to your door. We handle it all for you. Get started now. Sign up for a free regular account or premium account, or give us a call on 440-6100. SwiftPack. You shop, we ship, you save.
With the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, opportunities to relocate for work as a CARICOM skilled national have been expanded to include 10 categories of persons. 2 of those categories are artisans and household domestics holding a Caribbean Vocational Qualification, or CVQ. A CVQ is a certificate you can apply for based on how well you do your job. If you are certified as a household domestic, including housekeepers and home health workers, or an artisan, including persons in the building trade, craft persons, and machine operators, you could be eligible to move for work. CVQ standards have been developed with regional employers, so your skills will be recognized wherever you go. Contact your national training agency to find out about CVQs for artisans or household domestics, or visit csmeonline.org for more information. The CARICOM Single Market and Economy. Make it work for you.
Again, the major developments of this day, yet another oil discovery has been made offshore Guyana. And in sport, Pakistan beat West Indies by 3 runs in the second T20 International. Now that's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to CarnaNews.com. But just before we go, a quick reminder that from 8:30 tonight, CMC and its member stations will be carrying live the Caribbean Economic Forum featuring former Governor of the Central Bank of Ireland, Dr. Patrick Honohan. From all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a good night.